Remember, Optimus Gang are your top seed. They're the ones that beat Insignum. They were looking very strong coming into this now with their backs against the wall a bit. But you could say the same for Poppies. 1-1. This is the set that determines who will grab the first win in this round robin. Remember, we already said it. Optimus Gang will have played everyone by the end of set 2. So if they just 2-0, then they're all the way through. It's just that easy. Poppies, though, want to try and put a dent in that right here, right now. And we talked a little bit about GetFisher, right? He's definitely the focal point, I feel like, for this Optimus Gang. Maybe for this whole set, because there's such a big spotlight on him. I don't know if this Bakasura is doing enough.
He played it well in Game 1 and had moments in Game 2. I just think that Bakasura in general is kind of a win more character.
Yes.
At its core. Bakasura is a character that has a lot of trouble when already behind, clawing you back from the brink. But if you're in the lead, just steamrolls everybody. And a lot of assassins kind of do that
Or pure damage characters.
Exactly,
very often, yes.
exactly. So I agree with you. I think that if I'm Optimus Gang, I'm going a slightly different route. This time Mercury is open, but
that's a big deal.
They end up first picking the Athena instead, and I'm shocked that the Poppies really didn't give Mercury up.
Well, Athena already a very strong pick for Optimus Gang. Even if they don't pair with the Mercury, Athena's just worthy of a ban every single round by herself. But Jing, Agni coming through for Poppies. They've been prioritizing some of this safety over there in the duo lane. Even though I think they've been getting a bit outboxed, haven't they, over there in the duo lane? We'll see if it works out for them this time. There's the Mercury. What more could you expect?
Yeah, I'm just surprised at this Jing pickup instead of Mercury. I think if you go Mercury Agni in that spot, you're sitting very well as the Poppies. Maybe you even go Mercury Freya if you want to give that over to Warchi, though it seems like Warchi is prioritizing the Agni over the Freya right now. Freya might be second in his god pool at this moment. I really like what we see so far from Optimus Gang, though. I mean, giving what we were just saying, we didn't love the Bakasura. Give him something that can be excellent from ahead, will also give you great potential to turn it around while behind.
Well, I like this Kuzenbo. That is one less target now for the Mercury to try and focus on. You absolutely don't want to be punching into that reflect damage. And depending on how audio attack heavy they go from here on out, that could potentially be even stronger as Poppies ban away the Chernobog Zeus. Those feel like mid lane bans to me, even though Chernobog could be a hunter. They don't want to worry about that in mid either.
Wow, Habwa. That's going to be in the jungle, I'd imagine, here for WorstTurttle. And this is a risky selection. I mean, you want to talk about a volatile jungle fight between Mercury and Habwa. Now, there is a lot that goes well for Habwa in this matchup because Mercury locks himself in place during special delivery on another target. You can knock him up and prevent the toss that comes right after that. Or you could just straight up crushing wave him in the middle of that, and there's no way he can cancel it to Aegis very early on. So if WorstTurtle's able to catch GetFisher while hitting someone else on his team, that's going to be a good option. But overall, I'd expect Mercury to be able to run him down pretty well.
Well, Tyr's going to come out as well, which means we're likely seeing support to Kuzenbo again, and the Tyr going over into solo lane. Very interesting on the side of the Poppies plus the Habwa. They've got plenty of damage as long as they can get their setup. I don't know if they have the best setup here on this team. Maybe they have to set up themselves, but if they can land what little bit they have, get a Fearless the right way, Kuzenbo find a push, they definitely can follow up.
They can. I really like Optimus Gang's draft.
Me too.
I'm shocked that this isn't Freya. I think that Freya... You whoop Habwa, what does he do? I mean, his only out is to use the ultimate from that spot. I think that Freya would have been better than Kukulkan, but I do like Kukulkan with how much guaranteed CC Optimus Gang has. I think I've got Optimus Gang in this one.
Well, before we go into the game, we're just about to move into it. Make sure you vote on who you think's going to win. Where are we seeing this? Athena support Kumba solo in this situation over there on duo for sure?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Sibi on the Kumbhakarna solo would be my guess. He's been playing that basically all season long.
Now, let's see where everything ends up going. This is it. It's all on the line. Game 3, Optimus Gang and the Poppies. Let's get right into the action.
Thanks a lot, John. Thanks a lot, Ryan. And it will be Sibi on his signature solo Kumbhakarna. A pick that I love very much. I really do. Looks like OGG were looking for another invade, but not going to find it this time.
They go right, left, right, apparently, in these 3 games, and I like the style, trying to keep Poppies honest and on their toes. WorstTurttle going to be playing the Habwa jungle, whereas GetFisher piloting this Mercury late game, and Poppies fans are coming out of the woodworks there. 57% in game number 3. It was just a steady climb between all 3 games.
GetFisher on a pick that I think he is stronger on. Mercury is certainly a character that he's played very well. Sibi on the left side of the map, looking for the left side invade. Checkio in trouble. Fusify leading the charge. Can they get the basics to cut him down? The answer is no.
The root is good, and the sidestep from Kespainify finds the angle. If Dracomarino doesn't get rooted alongside his hunter, then that little sidestep never occurs, and Sibi is still here. There could be a second kill even.
Why is Draco still fighting this? I guess because he knows Chekio has that Jing Wei passive and going to be back here soon.
And Warchi as well, making his rotation. The red buff will be secured from Poppies, but that first blood is a great way for Kespainify to get a lead.
So Sibi grabbing some experience off of the kill, right? Losing about half of the wave here to tower. Well, looks like the full wave is Sibi's going to go to his blue buff first. Is that a problem? Oh, Sibi doesn't even get the buff.
That is so obnoxious. Julio was just body blocking there. As the right side mid camps actually went the way of WorstTurttle, having to beat that special delivery to ensure he would get both mid camps. I like that play. Don't expect him to fall within that 130 seconds.
We'll see. We'll certainly look for it. I know the GetFisher's going to look for it, knowing that that player has those beads on cooldown. I think the Hebo is an interesting pick here as well for the Poppies, because WorstTurtle's lackluster performance, in my opinion, came from repeated aggressive plays. Over-aggressive invades, over-aggressive shots on Circuit, diving the backline when the team wasn't in range. As a Hebo, you feel fragile. You know that you don't have the escape. And I think that the Poppies putting him on a character that theoretically should be the worst pick for him will weight him down enough. I think the pick will keep him from playing over-aggressive, rather than he'll be punished for being over-aggressive on the Hebo like he should be.
Well, considering he was playing the Alquang in game number 1, this style makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Between the Alquang or the Habwa playing Circuit in game number 2. A little bit of a different style, but same idea. Having the late game assassin damage. Is Warchi trying to contest the right side mid camps. GetFisher grabbing 1, grabbing 2.
Nice play there from Fisher to get Optimus Gang coming back into the duel lane. Doing some damage, but Julio doing more. Fisher falling down on his own jungle side. A little bit rough there.
That random level 4 blink tier action in the jungle. Like, GetFisher did not expect that one. And Sibi, and this is why in the soul lane, when there's nothing to do, you just hide in the jungle. And make them clutter the comps.
And that's something, like, Julio's been doing this since Julio's been doing this.
Yeah, and that's why he goes blink. Not for the solo lane matchup, but to surprise the mid laner, to surprise the enemy jungler.
His icon on Twitter was tier. There's no surprise here, homie. Kespainify falls down. Nice gank there from the Poppies jungle, but I understand that GetFisher is a substitute here. You've got to do your homework, right? If I go out and cast some other game, right? It's my job to understand what's going on in the league. I can't come here and go, well, nobody likes Barracuda, right?
Sure.
If you're a new Smite caster, you can't say nobody likes Barracuda. You're just wrong. Fisher has to expect that the tier play.
I agree. There's detailed plays that you need to know to help accelerate your success of being recognized as a formidable whatever it is that you're doing. But like the knowledge that you have from casting other games, for example, or playing, you know, in other teams, other leagues
Fisher
as well.
knows how to play Smite.
Sure, yeah, he does know how to play Smite, but it might be a little bit different against Julio, and that's where Poppies could start really exploiting GetFisher if he's not too careful.
Got to do your homework. Always got to do your homework.
And that's the difference between getting like an A+ or like a B- at the end of the test.
Well, here, I mean, this is a bigger test. This is the difference between going to Worlds or staying home in the minor league. You know, that's a big deal.
Well, getting to placements and then potentially getting to HRX. It is a multi-step process for the minor league.
Yes, so we have our placement stages November 5th through the 10th. That's double elimination. Best team comes out on top, and that'll filter down. 4 teams will escape there and join the 4 teams that got the buys from the Pro League. And then we've got an 8-team single elim bracket. That's what's going down at HRX 16th through the 18th of November. Get your tickets now. hi-rezexpo.com. Not something you're going to want to miss.
Ooh. Julio yet again stealing away the blue buff, but not using the Lawbringer fast enough. Goes in. No, he doesn't go into the tier 1 tower. Still trying to survive. Meanwhile, GetFisher left high and dry in his own blue buff.
I said punished a little bit too early. So that was an excellent adaptation from Optimus Gang. That's what I want to see. Julio has been in that blue buff since minute 1. So Optimus Gang make the transition, and they go and they bring a couple of players over to the right side. They made the right play. They just, unfortunately for them and their fans, weren't able to execute despite bringing the right X's and O's.
Oh, the ultimate from Julio, but the shell from Dracomarino keeps his soul laner alive. I was like seeing what both of them wanted to do. Julio wants to heal, and Sibi was like, no, I'm not going to let you heal. Now when I got epic uppercut, you are within lethal range, but man, Dracomarino coming in clutch, holding on to that relic, even during that whole blue buff shenanigans.
One of my favorite supports. Like, real talk, just he has the support instincts, the support style. That's really what it is.
Good night. Oh,
nope.
Sibi
with the little boom.
Didn't have the defensive power cleave.
Boom. That's the sound effect. Boom. I love that sound effect, by the way. It reminds me of an old school like Crash Bandicoot style game.
I like the Bacchus belly flop a lot.
It's just a timpani.
Yeah.
Good job, Jolie. You're pretty good at that.
Wow, thanks, Tom. I've tried. I've been practicing.
I can tell you're doing really well. Good stuff there, Jolie. Does anybody die in this lane? This seems like a more aggressive lane than we see.
I think Sibi could potentially die long before Julio ever will.
WorstTurttle now trying to look for GetFisher, and he'll miss the ultimate. Nice job from Fisher to get out of there. FaraKrik missing his. Dracomarino very slow, very low. And he's going to be gone.
That's one
Kespainify.
slow turtle from
Yeah.
Dracomarino. Horrific emblem really putting in the hurt. Fusify doing a good job there. Fusify trying to bait out the beads. Realizes WorstTurttle without mana, without beads.
That's death. GetFisher gets his first kill of the game. Nice redemption there for the substitute jungler. 3-3 is Optimus Gang. Reties it up in the early moments of game 3.
FaraKrik playing the Kukulkan as well, making an impact with that ultimate. It was really unfortunate how WorstTurtle couldn't confirm that crushing wave. I don't care how fast or how high that tsunami is, you're not going to be able to catch up to the fastest god alive.
Nope. He's very fast.
He outruns tsunamis. And crushing waves.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. What's going on here? So, it's actually funny. You know, Vamana has 275 movement speed.
375.
That's what I meant. 375 movement speed. So Mercury has 376.
Well, you're actually thinking of 380 versus 381.
That is what I'm thinking of, totally. See, that's why you do the numbers. I just do the generalities.
What would our TV show be if we had one?
It would be at late night. It would definitely be past midnight.
Oh, yeah, it would.
It would definitely be a past midnight show. There was an old MTV show called The Headbangers Ball, which was just...
I think I remember that. What
It was just
it?
Matt Pierce talking about metal.
Okay.
I think it would be...
That style?
No. You ever watch the Chris Cathard show? It's a public access New York talk show.
No. Can't say that I have.
Anyway, it's a weird guy trying to talk stuff, and then there's a party in the background.
While he's talking about stuff?
Yeah.
Like what kind of party are we talking about?
Like a totally party. Like lights.
That could mean a lot of things.
Like lights and dancing and strobes and rainbows and women and dancing and loud noises. And Sibi's going to make some noise here. That's really what it is.
Oh, Lawbringer over the top. WorstTurtle and Julio going to confirm that kill. Man, Julio really wanted that kill. He was like, give me that kill, but WorstTurtle securing that for himself, and that's an important kill for Habwa to get back in the game.
Bigger Gold Fury, though. Classic Smite. Check you a little bit too late. Optimus Gang going back to page 1. There's too many players on the right side of the map. Go to the left side and take what you can get. And a beautiful disengage as well. The whole idea of kill him after the Gold Fury is if Gold Fury, when the solo lane gets ganked, is Smite 101. Kill them after the Gold Fury is Smite 102.
Ooh, double taunt, but keep in mind, no ultimate from FaraKrik. He used that ultimate to confirm the Gold Fury, and that's going to allow Poppies now to slowly chip away at this tier 1 tower. Not too much mana from the Kukulkan to be able to play defense here, but I don't think the rest of Poppies are interested any longer.
Yeah, not quite. That's how we're going to stand up, and we're going to stand up real quick. Brief pause in the action. Tie game here at 10:42 on the clock. The Poppies recently grabbing another kill, so that makes it 4-3. But nice Gold Fury exchange there, as I said, kind of the fundamentals of Smite. But the bigger thing is how they escaped.
Yes. As a unit, that's what you want to make sure you try to do. Don't leave anyone behind. You go in together, you leave together, and that's exactly what we saw there. It was what you need to have in your mindset as a collective unit. It's very different from your normal casual games with friends versus ranked as well. Optimus Gang walking away with a very early, I would say, 10-minute Gold Fury.
Yeah. Like I had mentioned, just the you got to think of the map as sort of a triple beam balance. And when it's too heavy on one side, there's no defense on the left.
Yep.
And so nice job there from OGs to go for the OG play there.
I mean, if Sibi can give up his life for every Gold Fury in the game, I'm sure he would do that. Up until the 30-minute mark, because then you're actually going to need your Kumbhakarna.
Down 2 levels. Issue right now or not?
Could be. I don't think Poppies will exploit it. But if there's definitely like if they kill Sibi again with the rotation out of WorstTurttle, then that becomes an issue. But if Sibi can just kind of farm, relax, not really leave his tower line, having 30% cooldown reduction.
Oh my goodness.
Good mez. And that's a lot of time invested by 3 players. They might even look for a tower dive. If this isn't successful, then OGG can look for a turnaround.
Well, yeah, with that said, there's nothing on the left side to gain, so this is a good time for the right side gang. Players tossed up and WorstTurttle just takes GetFisher out almost haphazardly, using the ultimate to get out of tower range and goes, oops, I stepped on him.
You don't go in as a Mercury when Crushing Wave is available. That's a big oopsie daisy there. Left-hand side, 1v1 between Kespainify and Chekio, while Warchi takes out Sibi.
So number 6 for the Poppies in this rotation to the right side has proven fruitful. The tower goes down, as does the solo laner, in addition to the jungler. 2 kills for none and a tower.
That 2-level lead now becomes a 4-level lead, and this is where it becomes dangerous. A good kill onto Sibi and GetFisher. Now Poppies are going to be able to exploit this with a Pyromancer, getting themselves an objective. Now getting a 2,000 gold lead for themselves, even despite Optimus Gang getting the Gold Fury 3 minutes ago.
Fusify just looking for the lonely invade as an Athena. I don't know if that one's going to work, buddy. But he goes for it.
Red buff will be secure from Chekio, level 12 on the Jing way. Kespainify able to hold his own. Different style between these two, which makes a lot of sense depending on the gods that they're playing. Kespainify and the Medusa has a lot of scaling on his abilities, so going for Transcendence, whereas Chekio having that steroid of the explosive bolts to splash and critical strike. You want to get that in-hand damage with the Devo gloves and lifesteal.
So 13 minutes in here till the Optimus Gang trailing by the Poppies, but just barely. GetFisher not having a strong performance. WorstTurttle kind of redeeming himself for game number 2. Fisher trying to line up Warchi, but the team lurking on the left side will dissuade Optimus Gang from getting too aggressive there.
Optimus Gang playing defense under their own tier 1 tower because Julio goes in for the blink.
And a big boy ultimate from FaraKrik, hitting 2 players and GetFisher up the middle. Gotta finish this one off. Sibi with the rotation. Not gonna be good enough. Dracomarino relatively low. Fisher pushed against the wall into a locker, but he'll survive. Sibi has a kill right there in the middle lane.
Oh, Draco is still alive somehow, some way, but FaraKrik is not going to let that go. He's going to go in taking a lot of pot shots. Not going to be able to confirm the kill. A 1-for-0, but keeping their tower alive.
If Sibi's not behind, that's a kill. That's where it matters, and that's where it matters most. In lane, 10 to 12, 12 to 15, doesn't matter. But the second Sibi rotates that is going to be felt because on a character like Sobek, you're expected to just crowd control. On a character like Athena, you're expected to just crowd control. But the solo Kumbhakarna comes with that damage component.
Oh, yeah.
We watched him blink epic uppercut players for the death from 20% down. That's a big part of why Sibi plays his character. And when he's this far behind Anatoly, he's not able to bring the damage, just the crowd control. And I'm not going to say it's not enough. It's not what the team has expected.
Sure.
And so Sibi falls short and doesn't get the kill.
Yeah, without Voidstone, things are a little more difficult than it needs to be because you're not only amplifying your own damages at Kumbhakarna, but FaraKrik's damage gets amplified a little further. Those tornado ticks start really chunking away at the opposition. But at least he has that epic uppercut that makes certain players have to play around the landing spot because
Yeah.
you're going to get knocked back several times, or just the one time, but it's going to be annoying to have to worry about. Same thing goes with the Naja.
I mean, look how dumb that is. You're doing 700, 800 something damage base.
Yeah.
Base at level 20. That's incredible. And also, he's building into the Void Stone. I did see a little bit of hybrid last time. This is how Sibi plays his character. I love the idea behind it. It works out so well when he's even or ahead. Right now, Julio's kept him behind the 8-ball, and Optimus Gang kind of suffering because of their solo laners.
Poppies gotta watch out for that Sonic Boom. Taunt onto Julio, but he's not concerned. He's taking Fusify for a little bit of a ride.
Here's Fusify, still healthy. Not too big of a deal. Trouble for the Poppies here as they look for the objective anytime FaraKrik's around.
That's true.
The ultimate, we heard the desk talking about Freya versus this Kukulkan pick. The one thing that Kukulkan has versus the Freya is the objective secure. With that said, Kukulkan going away from the Gold Fury wants to pick up his wave in the middle lane.
I mean, you have plenty of time to do it with your allies giving you the vision of the Gold Fury. You have the range also on your ultimate to make that rotation from a distance and look for the steal. But now, it's going to be a little bit of a bait, though. Dracomarino baiting himself out. Julio not on the mark with that blink.
Full leash from the Poppies. And again, that's another application of the Kukulkan. You put the tornado in that spot between the Gold Fury semicircle and the little house pavilion thing. You can't walk there. The Poppies take the Gold Fury. Doesn't matter where you're walking. Trouble on the back line, looking for the jungler. GetFisher gets hit by the ultimate. He's going to be chased out. Sibi takes down WorstTurttle, a 1-for-1. Sibi here by himself, surrounded and pounded. FaraKrik lined up, takes down Warchi. And the answer back from Chekio could be good. Sibi on the run, Fisher on the run. Chekio can't find any of them. Dodge and weave, but the beads are good.
But needs to watch out for the damage from Kespainify. Dracomarino coming around the corner. The knockup is good. Here comes the Nene Kappa to tank the tower. Julio, you can tell he wants it, but he doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have Lawbringer. A 2-for-2 at the end. Or sorry, 2-for-3 as Fusify revives, but it was Poppies that snuck away the objective.
Gold Fury here puts the Poppies up a whole bunch. 2.4k gold right there. Poppies certainly looking strong. 15 kills in total. The Poppies are doubling Optimus Gang's 5 right now. What a turnaround. Optimus Gang looked so strong in game number 1. And admittedly, I think it was just the Poppies' inability to control the Bakasura. Game number 2 and 3, very different.
I think it was also them getting caught with their pants down with that speed buff invade. And we saw that game 2, that was spotted from a mile away. Poppies made the necessary adjustments, basically fanning out their players to create this little arc to see where everyone is coming from. Optimus Gang, and as a result, no shenanigans, even playing ground, and this is why Poppy's able to start turning things around. Julio on his comfort pick, able to really make things happen. 2-0-7, a part of 90% of his team's kills.
Julio on the tier is really kind of just nuts. I think this character warranted a ban, actually. And I'm not sure if Optimus Gang win this game without the tier inside of it, but tier has been a huge part of the picks.
Yes.
And the picks have led to the larger team fights and the objectives.
And just this pick alone is now forcing GetFisher to adapt his build. Rushing the Hide of Urchin, switching things up to get a Mad Guy's Cloak immediately after the fact hurts the overall damage from the Mercury that you would expect to occur.
What is this build? I just flat out don't like this.
He's going to be a bruiser.
Huge flank here. Trying to catch one, gets two with the Fearless. Can't follow him with the Power Cleave. Pyromancer goes to the Poppies nonetheless.
Did force out the ultimate from Kespainify to give himself CC immunity because his beats just now came off cooldown. If Kespainify got caught in that, he could have been in a world of hurt.
Big ultimate. Not going to find anybody because WorstTurttle with great timing on an ult of his own. Sibi lines him up though, knocked up, and he's knocked down. The Hemo fights back. GetFisher off the mark, hit by the tower, hit by the player. Beads are good. Chekio on the run, trying to catch up GetFisher.
Can he get him? He's a little fast. He's a speedy Mercury boy. WorstTurttle gets Fusify. Lawbringer over the top. FaraKrik Holding on to that Aegis. Finally will use it.
Fearless into the turtle Fearless. And the Poppies push FaraKrik all the way back to his fountain. Kespainify on the run. Tier 2 tower ready to be aggressed on by the Poppies.
Wow.
And it's gonna fall.
What a turnaround. Poppies losing game 1 in rather spectacular fashion, the way Optimus Gang played it and transitioned that mid to late game.
Yep.
And now coming back to win game 2. Dominating now, I'd say, in game number 3. No Fire Giant objective quite yet, but still making it happen in the team fight specifically. I think that WorstTurtle's timing of that last crushing wave avoids the ultimate from FaraKrik and baits Optimus Gang in a really weird situation where, like, all right, he's out of position. We got to invest a kill, but man, that knockup catches out Sibi. The missed ultimate also from GetFisher. There wasn't really much follow-up as a result.
54,000 to 48,000 right now. The Poppies up ahead after a slew of fantastic team fights going in their direction. Brief pause in the action. We'll get back to it in a matter of moments. But Optimus Gang having some trouble here in game number 3. I mean, realistically, what you need them to do is step things up, understand that their jungler isn't having his day, and find the way to really circumvent that issue. I'm looking at the mid lane. I'm looking at the Hunter. FaraKrik and Kespainify really need to step it up.
They just need to know what angle Julio is coming from, because that crowd control has been too annoying. A good taunt onto Chekio, but a better knock-up going to disrupt what Optimus Gang were doing.
WorstTurttle also on the other side has been absolutely fantastic. The Hebo has done exactly what he needs to do. Fusify going to get stunned up and gunned up as Dracomarino takes care of that one. And the Poppies find kill number 14.
Not done yet on the right side of Sibi. These shots not the strongest from the Guardian. Nice little mess to disrupt what Julio wanted to do, but Optimus Gang needs something, and maybe that tower is the next objective from the Order side, but Poppies want to get even a better one in the form of Fire Giant.
Yep, already down to 75. Pings coming out, but I think Optimus Gang a little bit too far to contest this one, Totally. 25%, and that's that.
Ooh, the blink, Sibi.
Sibi's here! Sibi's here! He might be able to steal it! There's FaraKrik, and that's gonna go to Optimus Gang! Beautiful surprise play, and OGG are gonna sneak away after they take care of the jungle Hebo.
They couldn't reset the Fire Giant because Sibi used the Groggy Strike to get the aggro. He was still inside the circle, and from a distance, FaraKrik snatches that one away, a worthy sacrifice to delay the siege from Poppies.
And if you guys remember, back to game number 1, the Poppies did this to Optimus Gang. OGG had a fantastic lead, and the Poppies were able to steal a Fire Giant, tie the game back up. Ultimately, Optimus Gang won the game later on. But what you're looking at here is a reset of the game as a whole. Poppies will pick up the gold fury, and that will maintain their gold lead, which is important. But there are a ton of towers that Optimus Gang can take advantage of right now. I'm looking at duo lane, and I'm looking at solo lane. And right there, that's a combined 4,000 gold. How behind are Optimus Gang right now?
Not too far behind, about 4,500, but then you add all those towers, things are going to get even more scary. About 3,500 gold just waiting for them, which will add up to 8,000 total. You add a Gold Fury that's about to respawn in 4 minutes' time. Things could get even more slippery as we're approaching the late game.
So Optimus Gang here looking for the push. Another pause in the action. I apologize, folks. Players having some issues here, I suppose, but we'll try and get past this one rather quickly. Right now, though, players probably won't mind the pause. I think this is a moment in the game where, as a player, as a fan, you want everything to keep going. But as a player, I think we're sitting here going, okay.
What do we do?
Stop the game.
Refresh our kind of strategy in mind, how we're going to approach the late game. Do we need to play defense? I think Optimus Gang have good tools with FaraKrik, playing the Kukulkan to play defense, but different style than your normal Zeus. Zeus can easily spread the damage in different corners, whereas the Kukulkan is just controlling one particular area of a map.
It is very big. We saw the area denial around the Gold Fury, and then we saw the burst potential on the objectives around the Fire Giant. FaraKrik is taking a really good big chunk there. Left side is where Optimus Gang will choose to siege right now.
because they're the ones with the Fire Giant. After that great steal, FaraKrik has the ultimate available if he has the setup. Dracomarino going to get chipped away slowly by that tornado, taking about 10 to 15% of his health pool. Got the tier 1 Optimus Gang, but not feeling frisky enough for the tier 2.
That's all because of Julio right there. They were wary of the flank. Couldn't tell what the tier player was, didn't have the wars on them, so they wanted to back off and go away. I want to see them keep pushing. They can't just get one tower out of this Fire Giant. I think that in action would be a poor choice.
Oh, I agree. I think that there needs to be a little bit more action for Optimus Gang to get themselves back in the game. Gold Fury now due to respawn for 3 minutes. Pyromancer is up, but then if you're going to go for Pyromancer, you got to expect a jungle fight, and that's where I think Poppies will reign supreme. Warchi's bombs over the wall. Julio is going to be looking to penetrate the backline. Dracomarino is no slouch at penetration either.
I very rarely care about fire or about Pyromancer. 500 gold and a Swift Wing. I just don't really care most of the time. It's this moment where I'm down. Sure, grab some 500 gold. It's whatever.
Nothing else to do.
It's a tier 1 tower. There's nothing to do. I hate watching teams lose leads or even games off of the objective fight over a Pyromancer. It's just not worth it.
Well, it just depends if you feel you're more confident about winning the fight. If you think you'll have the better jungler fight, right? So just seeing Agni alone leads me to believe that Poppies should have actually took that fight, but by not having vision control, you could be walking into a trap.
Right.
So it's not even worth poking your head around that corner.
Fire Giant could be next. Or excuse me, right side could be next as everybody on the Poppies is backing. Optimus Gang, of course, don't know that. They don't have the information that we do. So they're going to still play it safe. Fire Giant spawning in about a minute. And Optimus Gang should maintain control. This is a fight that the Poppies are going to want to take.
Oh, yeah.
All Optimus Gang got with that last Fire Giant was a tier 1 tower, and that was a mistake. They were down 2,000 gold, had a Fire Giant. They can take those fights. Their inaction might lead them to a very poor spot right now, Toli.
They've been feeling very confident about taking fights the entire set. Even when they were behind a lot of gold and all 3 Phoenixes, they wanted to fight around this objective. Dracomarino without his sumo slam going to get special delivery right into the thick of things. WorstTurttle getting about 1,000 damage right there, forced to back off.
I gotta say, I think that's the wrong target. GetFisher and Fusify team up to take care of the tank. GetFisher finally avoids that ultimate.
Man,
nice moves.
that knockup was good from WorstTurttle, but he hesitated a little too long on the crushing wave. As soon as you use the knockup, you got to trust that you are going to hit it, and immediately use that ultimate. I think that's also why GetFisher is going for a tankier option to survive that 1-2 combo.
Could be, possibly. Now going into more aggressive play. I like the Magi's. I'm just not in love with the Urchin. The other items work out well. I'm just not in love with the Urchin.
Well, it's what, 250 health, and then once you finish stacking it, it's going to be 51 protections on both sides. And that's nothing to scoff at, especially when you can survive by getting out with your mobility. You'll get a little bit of a health shield to go back into it. I don't mind it. It just depends on how Optimus Gang play, because currently you need a lot of damage coming from FaraKrik to make up for the lack of damage out of GetFisher.
That's true. That is certainly true. Kespainify here has been doing his job as well. FaraKrik, though, top damage.
Like, I almost don't even like the Divine Ruin from FaraKrik.
I was thinking about that as well. He's built it all 3 games. There's a classic mentality.
Not like this.
Oh.
Shekio was dead to rights there, but the timing not there. Kespainify in a whole heap of trouble. Needs some sort of assistance. In the backline, WorstTurttle 5-2 on 5-2.
Oh! Big ultimate coming out from the jungle there, Anatoly. And he's going to clean it up with a triple kill. This could be 4. Give him the last hit, boys.
They did.
And they will. Quadra kill for the best of turtles. Sibi goes down. That's a Fire Giant.
Oh, GetFisher almost gets taken out by Julio as well. That blink was fruitful, and man, what a corridor fight. As good as FaraKrik is in those little jungle skirmishes, WorstTurttle even better. Blinking behind his whole opposition ulting away after a nice knock-up. Clips 3 members with that one ultimate. Talk about efficiency. And unfortunately for Optimus Gang, they couldn't make Sibi and FaraKrik's ultimate work together.
All of the Hebo players out there, that is the dream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, that is what people go to bed at night thinking about.
Dreaming of
multiple players lined up in an area just as big as my Hebo ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
That is the Hebo dream.
See, I'm like that except for Excavate, triple bouncing between walls.
Yep, exactly. There's always those like dream moments for these abilities. Oh my goodness. WorstTurttle, I've been there. That's a moment that I think everybody at home that plays Smite can relate to. Your eyes just get so big. Your eyes just get big and you go, this is mine. I'm going to take it.
I'd be a fool not to do this right now.
Exactly.
And like whether or not he gets a kill, you got to go for it.
Oh, you have to.
Like there's no questions about it.
And and if he dies there and he just looks stupid, the team goes, we get it.
Yeah.
You can't not. You can't.
Those opportunities are very few to present themselves. So when it shows up, you grab it by both horns. And that's exactly now why Poppies are in the lead, about 9,000 gold, snatching away that middle Phoenix off of the back of WorstTurtle's great decision making.
Pyromancer going to go down to the Poppies. Chekio ready to go. Right side will be the focus point for the Poppies. Tier 2 tower going to go down rather easily. WorstTurtle slowly coming up the mid lane.
I don't like this. Yet again, this is similar to, I believe, game number 1, where WorstTurtle was going down the mid lane as the Ao Kuang, and Poppies were a little bit too fast to siege without the Ao Kuang, and this is the same case except different gods.
FaraKrik right now on a much, much better defensive character than he's been playing in the past. The zonage, the ultimate, a lot of what Kukulkan brings is good on the defensive side of things. Jungler is going to go battle it out in the mid lane. Right side, we've got a team fight all by itself. Big ultimate again from FaraKrik, but it's only going to hit the tank. Dracomarino, half HP. WorstTurtle finds Sibi on the back line. Knock him onto FaraKrik, and the ultimate will bring him down to 1 HP. Taken care of is WorstTurtle, but Dracomarino is going to put down FaraKrik. The support helps it out. And the Poppies are going to look to push forward. The Titan down to 90% HP. And this is going to be an issue for Optimus Gang to deal with. 50% Agni Bombs zoning players out. The Poppies looking for the win here. GetFisher trying to play defense. Felicidades! The Poppies take game number 3.
And they win the set, putting themselves above Optimus Gang in this round robin on a very impressive start, considering they lost game number 1. Came back in numbers 2 and 3.
Adaptation was the core mechanic of this set. Great job from the Poppies to identify what went wrong. GetFisher was off to a great start. Shut him down games 2 and 3. Don't get silly invaded on as well. Real smooth adaptations.
That was the best adjustment that they made. Once they made sure that WorstTurtle wasn't going to be behind at level 1, things looked a little bit better. And the fact that Julio was playing his tier again in game number 3 really abused Sibi in that last one.
Most valuable player. Again, this one up to interpretation. You can look at WorstTurtle with his highlight reel play. That is undoubtedly play of the game if we did that. You can look at Julio over there in the solo lane. Chekio had a number of strong plays. This was a team victory for the Poppies. I really enjoyed watching it.
I agree. I think that the flexibility of the God Pull was also very impressive to me. There was a lot of picks banned away from both sides and making adjustments in this little best of 3 meta. It leads me to believe that they're confident once whichever team advances to the placements. You got to watch out for if you're a Global Series team or even a Pro League team.
Well, the Poppies take care of Optimus Gang. It takes them 3 games, but they do wind up on top to go to the next level. It's Finch and it's Aggro.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Totally. Finch and Aggro here. And wow, already SML playoffs getting off to a hot start here. Poppies taking down Optimus Gang. We knew we said they were maybe a little bit weaker, but Poppies looked so good in games 2 and 3.
They really did. The Poppies were able to turn it around and look like a much better team after that first game. And the way that they played as a unit was very impressive. I think that the way that they won in both of those games, Julio was a key factor in both wins. and that's something that the Poppies should look to play around as they await their next matchup, which would be against Insignum later on today.
And we talked about how volatile this Habwa pick was going to end up being, and then it gets the quadra kill. So, I mean, what more could you ask for there? And then if we're comparing our junglers, I mean, look over to the other side. Not a ton, I would say, out from this Mercury in the jungle for them as well. So, I don't know, man. I mean, you don't pick Mercury for 9K.
Yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree that the build I was not a fan of. You're building a lot of low damage items and a bunch of defense in a build where your job as Mercury in this composition is to kill the Habwa as fast as possible.
Right.
You need to insta-kill him in a fight if you want to make it easy for yourself. And GetFisher, I mean, I don't think GetFisher was a huge detriment in games 1 or 2. I think he did his job. In Game 3, I think Optimus Gang have a significantly better chance to win if Johnny is there.
I think so too. And the Optimus Gang had a great draft. It's tough to imagine them losing it, but Poppies get it done largely on the back of WorstTurttle, who was selected as the MVP. A great performance out of that Habwa in the jungle. I think quadra kills very often get you the MVP, and no complaints are going to be coming from me. A very strong performance here from WorstTurttle.
And this right side of the map was so good for the Poppies. I mean, Sibi was having a real struggle on that side.
Wow.
This Kumbhakarna, for as much as Julio was able to do, we saw that much less, I think, from Sibi, who had an uncharacteristically bad game on his signature pick.
That's right. Yeah, the Kumbhakarna is something that normally he plays with. Sibi has been able to pretty regularly look strong. And one more time, yeah, that's absurd. The crushing wave just threw everybody. What can you do? But this is one more where, and this isn't me saying that I think GetFisher really hurt them, but I just wonder if Sibi has a better game if he's playing with the jungler he's used to playing with, right?
Probably.
And not even to, and I do think GetFisher struggled in that game, but I think independently from that, just maybe if he's in that situation and it's Johnny, he can just say, hey, come over, I need a little bit of help here. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable putting that extra responsibility on GetFisher even. You know, we just never know in this situation. I think it's unfortunate for a team that looks so strong to come in here, but Poppies, they are the ones that put those questions to him, and they didn't have the answers.
Exactly, and like I said during the beginning of this, we don't really know what the team dynamic is like as far as comms go in these sorts of games. In a game like this, Habwa is a character that really preys on those teams that are not particularly well organized and can get you if your communication is down and you aren't communicating where his defensive cooldowns are, where he is, what our options are to try and kill him. And if you have all those on point, then Habwa can struggle pretty heavily. But there, Optimus Gang clearly didn't have the answers, and WorstTurttle was able to basically roam free in the late game. And sure, he doesn't do all the damage in the world, but he did all the damage in the one fight that mattered the most, which was that Fire Giant engagement.
That's the problem. A lot of the times with glass cannons, that's really the way that you beat them, right? It is through communication. That's why Lokis and Habwas do really well in ranked, right? Or casuals, because you're just not nearly as good of a team as you would be at this level, and that's why they don't do well here. But in this game, Habwa was able to find his way through, grab a very important win for Poppies. Now, as you said, we're going to be seeing Poppies play again towards the end of the day, if it is indeed the end of the day, when they play up against Insignum later on.